Okay, we're in southern Thomas County today, and I've got peanut agronomist Dr. John Beasley with the University of Georgia here. And John, you want to tell us a little bit what we're doing today?
Well, RJ, you've been very good to want to work with us on a peanut cultivar trial in which what we're trying to evaluate, first of all, is non-irrigated production, because only about 50% of our peanut acres in Georgia actually have irrigation capability, obviously meaning the other half does not. So we obviously need to do some on-farm research trials to see how these cultivars respond to non-irrigated production. The other thing is, here in Thomas County you have an awful lot of plantations and some fields that have to be treated differently because of the wildlife.
So what are we going to use to treat differently then?
Well, the main thing that we have to avoid are the granular insecticides. We think about Timic, Thiamet or 4-8 that are used at planting to help control thrips. Timic, of course, can be used to control nematodes as well. Then, of course, Timic can be used as a side dress in season for helping reducing nematode populations. Or Lorsban is another insecticide that's in granular form that's been used to control lesser cornstalk borer and such. We've got to avoid those type of insecticides, the granular type, to help prevent a loss of quail population in particular. So what we're doing here is, in this particular trial, we're looking at orthene as our main thrips control mechanism.
All right, so what do we have down here in the row? This is the Georgia Organic variety.
This is the Georgia Organic variety, which is a variety that actually is not an officially released cultivar per se through University of Georgia or University of Florida, but a USDA plant breeder based in Tiftguard, Dr. Corley Holbrook, developed this cultivar, and the unique thing about it is it had a darker skin on it than the other cultivars we've been planting. The industry can't deal with that right now because of the way the electric eyes pop out any dark colored rocks or anything like that when sorting them for use. But it is a cultivar that has a lot of very good disease resistance and is primarily used for the organic market, which we have a small organic peanut production market in Georgia. And so that's why the name Georganic is Georgia and organic combined. Has very, very good leaf spot resistance, white mold resistance, spotted wilt resistance. But we wanted to test it here in Thomas County in this situation where we're not using maybe some of the pesticide that we would normally use in normal production.
So what varieties are we going to try in this variety here, and what are some tips we can give to growers now that we're starting to see the rain starting to stop, it's drying out, we got good moisture to plant?
Yeah, and what we've done, we've got 8 cultivars selected for this particular location. We have Georgia Green as the standard that we have used now for about a dozen years. And we've got it in there. We've got the new Georgia Greener, Georgia 6G, Georgia 7W, and most growers have heard of those by now. We've got the Florida 07, the AP4, which is different than the AP3, it's the AP4, Tiftguard, and then the Georganic in here. So we wanted to compare, especially these new cultivars like, well, in Tiftguard, I left off Tiftguard, but the Tiftguard, the AP4, the Florida 07, the Georgia 7W, Georgia 6G, the AP4, all those cultivars are new or been around only a couple of years. We wanted to see how they would perform in a non-irrigated situation. And this field in Thomas County on this plantation offered an excellent opportunity for us to do that comparison.
So with your knowledge right now, what do you think are some varieties that we need to think about planting this year for dry land?
Well, you know, in the meeting season, we were talking with producers about on dry land to try to plant the smaller seeded cultivars because they require less water. That would be your Georgia Green. Your Georgia Greener's not as big a seed. York, which is one we're not testing here because it's probably going to be phased out after this year. And I said avoid the large seeded runners. But I tell you, the more I thought about it, if you get marginal rainfall, even slightly below normal rainfall, these new cultivars like Georgia 6G, Tiftguard, Florida 07, AP4 that have a much larger seed size than Georgia Green, I think, and that's why we want to do this comparison, that they will provide a better yield potential. So if I were a grower and still had time to get in one of these cultivars, even in a dry land situation, I would still try it. Now, what's going to happen if we have a very dry year like 1990 or 2000? Yeah, the small seeded cultivar like Georgia Green may still be our best option. But that's what we want to. That's why we put these type trials out. And I appreciate you and the grower here in Thomas County helping us out in this.
All right. Well, we should see what in how many days will we start seeing our results, do you think?
Well, certainly we're planting right here on May 1st, and most of these cultivars are about 135, 140-day peanuts, so you're pushing 5 months. So that's obviously May, June, July, August, September. So somewhere at the end of September, 1st of October, we'll be in here harvesting. But all season long, we'll monitor these for emergence. We'll monitor them for disease. We'll come in and rate them. We'll look for any other differences that may occur, and anything that we can note that may differentiate one cultivar from the other. Obviously, the yield and grade, because that's what puts money in the grower's pocket, will be the ultimate comparison that we make in these cultivars.
Super. Well, we'll see what the results are in October.
Thank you very much, RJ. We're looking forward to it.